Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. So doing well on this 26th October 2024. You are in for a special treat today, guys. We're not recapping one movie like we sometimes do. We're not recapping two movies like we usually do. We're recapping three movies which we never do. And it is the Fockers trilogy. Before I get warning for swearing, it's Fockers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I might be recapping memories with Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro. So basically, what's going on is we have three movies about Ben Stiller marrying the daughter, this movie daughter, the actress daughter of Robert De Niro. It is a story about a kid getting in, about a kid. It's a really well put series. Actually, really fun. So the first movie, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna recap the whole tree movie. Then I'm gonna say the pros, and I'm gonna say the cons. Okay, cool. If you want it another way, comment it in the section. That way I know what you want. And I do it. But if you don't tell me, I don't know. The first movie, super simple. We got Greg Focker, real name Gaylord Focker. We got a little bit of a comedy, meeting the in-laws, and as a man, there's this very special feeling, meeting the in-laws. I feel like parents are, and I hope this doesn't sound sexist or misogynistic. It's not the intent. Think it's for his father, his daughter. She's the little princess, you know. For a guy, like, holy shit, she's cute. Good job. For a daughter, I don't believe him. I don't trust him. He's an asshole. And it's scary, especially when the family is. And what I really didn't like about the first movie is everybody's chill except for the father. So the mom is chill, the brother is chill, the wife is chill. So you got Ben Stiller constantly trying to get the attention of Robert De Niro. Remember, Robert De Niro doesn't care. And the movie is actually pretty funny. It's actually good. It's a good movie. However, you have the whole movie spanning chasing a character to not succeed, to have the family say, hey, guess what? He's a nice guy. Give him a chance to succeed. Not because you tried, but because your family told you so. The first movie is actually pretty fun. It's not the most interesting thing, but it's fun. I did like it. Was also the fact that Owen Wilson was there, which him and Ben Stiller have made so many movies together. We're talking about Zoolander. We're talking about Meet the Fockers. We're talking about shit, that's about it. Sorry. So another cool thing about the first movie is it's actually quite sweet. There's really nice moments. Like, you can watch that movie and not put yourself in the shoes of Ben Stiller and say, okay, this is the in-law. And the really sweet thing is, even though the father's an asshole, sorry, Mr. De Niro, the family's still like, hey, continue. You're good. This is about the first movie. This is about it. So when you look at the three movies together, it's one hell of a journey. But sadly, when you take the first movie in itself, when you take the second movie in itself, when you take the third movie in itself, it's a bit boring. The three together, fantastic. It's like, and I'm gonna get so much hate for this. One of my favorite trilogy is Lord of the Ring. Loved it. But watch Fellowship of the Ring alone. Watch Fellowship of the Ring and never watch Two Towers and Return of the King. Watch the Two Towers, but don't watch the Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King. And it's a great movie. It's a bit weird because you don't know who's this character, you don't know why it's their goal, you don't know what's going on, and you don't know how it ends. Now watch Return of the King without having watched Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers. It's a completely different movie. It's weird, you know? I mean, the Focker is kind of like that, right? And I feel like this is something that happens with a lot of trilogy. Number two, the concept now is, okay, I met the in-laws. It's time for my wife to meet her in-laws. Now, and it's a great movie. I think the second one was my favorite out of the three. I think the second one was a much better movie than the other two. But there's flaws. Like, and episode number one. And movie number one. Ben Stiller is a lone survivor, a lone Mohican, the last of his kind, the last warrior fighting against a whole in-laws. Now, and meet the other fuckers, which is the name of the movie, by the way. No, we need to have the whole family. And I do think it speaks volume. It feels volume as you don't think that Pam, which is the wife in the story, is interesting enough without her parents. Now, I get that people want De Niro and want Ben Stiller. But it does feel a bit forced to have always De Niro. And the thing I like about the character, the three endings are the same. It's a constant De Niro finding stuff about Ben Stiller that he didn't say. And it's kind of cool. It's really cool. So, also, what I didn't say in the first movie, because I didn't want to get into too much details, but let's get into the details. The father, constantly talking about a circle of trust, constantly talking about how Greg, Gaylord Focker, is able to enter it if he's okay. And he constantly, and there's a bunch of things that happens, which are complete coincidence, that does push the father to be like, ugh. In the second movie, this is the first movie, I don't know you, you're gonna marry my daughter? It's cool. Second movie is like, you already married my daughter, bro, why do I care? It feels a bit weird. But the story in the second one is the best. We meet the other fuckers, which we're seeing this family in the first movie that is very strict. The wife, she's super chill. I like the wife a lot. I love Dina a lot. We've got the father again. And in the family of fuckers, the dad is dancing, the mom, she's a sexolog. She has her own show. And it's a complete different story. So it's about the clashing of the two clans. It's about the clashing of how we act as a family versus how your family acts. And the second movie, the greatest thing about the movie is one character. He's not even 2 years old. His name is Little Jack. He's a baby. Now Pam has a sister who has a baby. So technically, Pam, she's the aunt. Greg, no relationship. But Pam, she's the aunt. And why is this character so important is because we have the family of Pam trying to teach him to raise him. And we have the family of Gaylord trying to, I love saying Gaylord, I don't know why. I hope you don't think I'm homophobic, just think it's fucking funny. We have them raising them the way they are. So, these things is like the little kid. And it's kind of cool because the next movie is Meet the Little Fuckers, which is Pam and Gaylord have kids. And in the second movie, what is really cool is your family is not cool. And what is really, 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 really nice is Greg and Gaylord, they're becoming the same people. Gaylord and I don't even remember the name of Robert De Niro and Mr. De Niro, Bob. They're closer. There's still some things in the background, but they're closer. Now the coolest thing is we learn about Gaylord childhood, about almost his illegitimate kid, the kid that he had with his senior. A lot. She's hot too. And the second movie is actually quite fun. It's one of the best of the three movies because we just had so much of Gaylord and the father. And this one is the family fuckers with the family birds. So it's two families together and there's a lot of clashing. The father doesn't get along. The mother, she's a sex therapist. She's very helpful. And it's really nice because I don't know how intentional it is, but you really clearly see that the problem is the father of Pam. And it's cool because it teaches you in the weirdest way. In the weirdest way. That a family needs every single member to be together. That's not a family. I'm gonna go do a pee and come back. And we're back. Now, with episode number 3, and we're doing a CapCut edit that way. I get to do work while doing work, which is cool. The third one, and this is mainly my fault, but I was tired of it because I've watched the three Focker family yesterday. So yesterday was a day where I did a lot of clips, clips, not clips. And because I did a lot of clips, then I needed something in the background. And the third one, it's there's really good moments of the movie. There's really nice moments, and there's moments that are really sad. For example, there's moments, and that's my issue. Like in the first movie, the problem was the relationship between Greg, Gaylord, and the father. And the second movie was a problem between the father of Pam, De Niro, Bob, and the family. And the third one, it's once again Greg and De Niro. It's like I was laughing the first time. The second time was okay. The third time is too much. However, like I said, in the second one, right? In the second one, we meet a kid, okay, and that kid looks a lot like Gaylord, and he's the son of the ex. Remember when I said he had his first love? He was very young. Well, technically, Greg was the age because he was a baby, and when they meet again, that kid is 15 years old, which is exactly the year. So it is nuts because they do look alike. They do look alike. So De Niro, without even doing some tests, he does a and it's supposed to be really funny, and it is, but it's also a very shitty character. It's a very shitty, and I'm sorry because I do like Robert De Niro, but this one is very shitty. For example, and he meets the kid, and he said, "You look like Gaylord. You had sex with his mom, and you're the age where you had sex." So, and instead, like you can technically assume they look together, look alike. You can technically assume he's the father without even being sure. And he even does some tests, DNA tests, right? He even does some tests, and he's like, "Okay, you're his father." Then he make Ben Stiller think that he was a father. That was a shitty father because he didn't take care of it. Right? And the issue here is not even talking about Pam, but about his daughter. About it. He just exposes Greg just to hurt him. Like, dude, that's a shitty thing to do. You didn't do it for your daughter. You did it because you wanted to be proven wrong, right. Third movie is exactly that once again. There's gonna be kids. There's gonna be a grandkid, and it's nuts because I think the movie, they knew that the character of Bob was going to be hated because in the first one we have the grandkid, and like I said, the most important character is Little Jack, which is the grandkid, and they're going to be around the other family, so they have to show that it's a good family. They have to show that, okay, well, this is how we raise him. And the second one, we have a possibility of kids for Pam, and not even possibility at this point. They're actually kids, and what really sucks is they're twins. And the twins, are like 5-6 years old. So, bro, what are you doing? And then during the movie, we go back to Owen Wilson, which is a good friend of Ben Stiller, was then present once again in the 3 movies, right? And he would be a better candidate. And the first one, in the first movie, it was implied that it was something between the two of them. In the second movie, nothing. The third movie, it's implied that he still has some feelings. Which is weird because in the second movie, he's the one to marry Pam and Gaylord. There's a lot of inconsistency. See, the really cool moments are, the really cool moments are, and it sucks because you wouldn't like the movie because it's a good movie, it's funny, but as a kid, I would find it funny. As an adult, I find it sad. For example, they want to go to this prestigious school, and then the grandfather, which is Bob De Niro, says, "You know what? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you to get the kids into a good school." Remember, there's 2 kids. There's twins. The boy is a bit more simple-minded, and the girl, she's really after her grandfather. They're very close. So they go to do the test. They go to school, right? And when the daughter, she does good, but De Niro's like, "Oh, this is my daughter. This is my granddaughter. She's so proud." And when the kid doesn't do good, it's like, "Ugh, that's not my fault." So you're basically helping for the 2 kids to go to the same school. And when you understand and when you learn that maybe only the daughter will go to the school, you don't care. So why did he show up in the first place? You know? And there's a really sweet moment where he's actually trying to help. And he's really helping. There's another sweet moment where we have Dina that is creating attention, and they have this language which is muskrat, which is this you're going too far. So you can see that there's improvement in the relationship, and that's really sweet. But it doesn't do shit. See, the pros of the movie is they're fun. The pros of the movie is it's a continuous story. There's int in the second movie about the first movie, and there's int about the first movie, the second movie, and the third movie. So it is very a rewarding system to say, hey, I remember this. Oh, hey, I remember this. The pros is also the cast of characters are kind of cool. You got the mom, which is the mom of Pam, which is a bit repressed because the husband takes so much place. You got Pam, who I wish she had more of a place, and the in the relationship, because in the movie there's a lot of time where she's put in between the two of them. Right? In the first movie she tells Greg, don't worry, my father's like that. You're doing good, don't worry, it's okay. Second movie she's like, oh no, my father's right. So it could have been something so interesting with Pam being like, oh, I have to choose between my father and my boyfriend. You know? But most times she chooses a father. Which is normal, but you feel like Gaylord is constantly being a victim. And the problem is that one of the biggest con is Gaylord suffer. Gaylord suffer. In the first movie, it's like, you know what, Jack? It doesn't work. And the second movie, it's like, you know what, Jack? It doesn't work. Third movie, you know what, Jack? It doesn't work. Well, if it wasn't working in the first movie, then why do they keep trying to do it in the second and third movie? Having consistency. The dynamics of the family are super cool until they get on your nerve. And it's the character of Bob the problem. Because the character of Gaylord, yes, he fucks up a lot. And yes, he makes a lot of mistakes. But ultimately speaking, most of these mistakes are due to misadventure. For example, he's trying to get the kid to sleep. Because in the second movie, there's a baby, Jack, and gets to sleep. And then he slips a bad word. And then the kid learned a bad word. Now, the biggest part of the movie is his first word is a bad word. So they get really mad at Greg. Why did you do that? Which I understand. It's really bad. But at the same time, there's a golden opportunity for a closure. Because the character of Bob De Niro has been trying the entire movie to teach baby Jack to talk. Greg Gaylord spent maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie compared to 40 to 50 minutes. So Gaylord spent 10% of the time in the movie with the kid, and he gets him to talk. Now I know it's a movie, and I know it's supposed to be funny, but at the same time, Bob was like, yo, how did you do it to make him talk? You know? And it just sucks because the movie has such potential. Such potential. See, it's weird because there's constant... The movie in itself... The movie in itself is revolving around the character of Gaylord and the character of Bob De Niro, right? And you realize that every single characters other than those two are kind of cool. Pam, kind of cool. The Gaylords, they're eccentric, but they're kind of cool. They're good parents. The wife of Bob, really cool. Pam, really cool. Owen Wilson, kind of cool, honestly. The story resolves, and you realize that's my biggest problem with the show, the movie. The movie had a good time. My biggest problem is you realize that it's basically 3 movie where Gaylord victimized himself and he keeps suffering the abuse. And in the second movie, what's really sad is he tells his parent to chill, hoping to impress the father, Bob De Niro, when the whole time the parents of Gaylord never gave shit to Pam, never gave her a hard time. When the first movie is entirely Bob giving shit to Gaylord. You know? And in the third movie, there's a really cool scene where he calls him an asshole and says, hey, he's an asshole, and makes fun of him, right? It's a really cool scene because you understand that Gaylord realized that the stepdad is an asshole. Fuck him, right? Not really, because the father-in-law. Sorry, not the dad. Father-in-law. Not really, because it's one thing to realize that somebody is not a good friend for you. It's another thing to realize that your friend is not a good friend, but just to continue enabling them to hurt you. So yeah, so constant cycle of abuse during true movies. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a good resume actually. So the outside world, the inside,